Hello guys, welcome to a new video. At the end of the game, Karel shapeshifts into several characters saying that he was helping Lara without her knowing. Those characters are Bouchard, Ludwig and Curtis. We the fans were surprised and left wondering which characters were the real ones or just Karel. So I thought it would be interesting to make a video trying to make sense of when it was Karel interacting with Lara in Tomb Raider Angel of the Darkness. Before analyzing the story, it's important to mention some interesting notes from the writer Marty Schofield about how we would be able to know if it was Karel or not. It would be through some signs which I will be listing. Swirls on the skin, a ring, ambient blue lightning or something subtle, a weird shadow that shows the true Nephiline form, no reflection or a weird reflection. Karel would always wear gloves to hide the sign on his hands, and actually, if you think about it, he's always using them. I think I didn't dream about it, but I remember reading that Karel and Eckhart would make different signs when killing other characters. Unfortunately, none of these things, besides the mark on Karel's hand, were used in the final game, making it super hard to figure it out when Karel is deceiving Lara. So, the first time I believe it's Karel is when Lara sees him in Rand's shop. I feel like most of the times Eckhart appears and Karel is not around, it's actually Karel in disguise. In Rand's shop, I think it was him because it seems like after Karel killed Von Croy, he started to finish off everyone who came into contact with Von Croy, like Carvier and Renz. Renz basically sold weapons and some maps of the Louvre to Von Croy, and later Bouchard. We may consider that he helped by killing Renz, so Lara didn't need to negotiate, because you never know, he seems a very complicated person, but at the same time she was almost caught in the explosion, though maybe Karel didn't know about it, which makes sense because this part made a lot of people confused. It wasn't Karel that put the bomb there, it was Renz that was very paranoid, so he always had like protective mechanisms, so when Lara entered the safe, it activated the bomb. One of the documents states that Karel was also other characters that Lara encountered in Paris. It could be actually anyone. Imagine if he was Janice. Now you're not gonna look at Janice the same way. Karel being Curtis at any point of the game doesn't make sense to me. Even during the Serpent Rouge, it would make more sense for it to be the real Curtis, looking for answers, after hearing Lara and Pierre talking in the Café Metro. Another reason is that the guards you find in the Serpent Rouge are also the Cabal looking for Bouchard, so Karel didn't need to go there. I think he just transformed into Curtis to gain her trust. Then at the end of the Louvre, one of the Cabal guys transforms into the doorman after knocking down Lara and Curtis, taking the painting with him. This was Karel, and I think he transformed into the doorman because he was planning on killing Bouchard next. He needed to be someone Bouchard trusted to let his guards down. I believe that the Bouchard that takes Lara to Von Croy's apartment is still the real one, because some documents say that he got an offer from the Cabal that he couldn't refuse. I think he was working with him, at least from this moment, but he was very determined to find clues about the monster that had caused him so many problems. So yeah, basically he was working with them, but he didn't know a lot of things behind the Cabal. That's why he was in Prague later. When Lara talks to him in Prague, it's Karel, there's no doubt, because all the different documents always state that it was Karel, and you could tell by his strange behavior. In a way, Karel wasn't expecting Lara to be there so soon, or maybe not even at all, since they had sent the cleaner to get rid of her. the Bouchard that it's Karel says it was Eckhart who ordered Lara to be killed. And I believe that. Eckhart seems to get rid of problems quickly, while Karel prefers to manipulate people as he did with Eckhart and Von Croy. Karel could have finished off Lara there, but I guess he couldn't find the engravings and decided to use her again. I think he was also nervous as Bouchard because he had just killed him, and Lara could easily find the body in the next room and realize that there was a shapeshifter. If that happened, she would stop trusting other people who could actually be Karel in disguise. So he didn't want that. I also wonder if this symbol was how Karel killed Bouchard. It could have been the Vasley too, but as a crime scene, we don't see any crime details, related to Vasley. It seems like the place was already cleaned from the crime scene, which doesn't make sense. There should have signs that the police was there checking the place, according to the notes. Another thing is that when you talk to Ludwig the second time, some documents say Ludwig saw Bouchard running away. In just one document, it's mentioned that Lara saw male footprints in the snow that changed to a woman's. I bet he changed into Janice. I'm kidding, okay? I don't know. Still, that doesn't make sense because Karel had to transform into something else to free himself from the handcuffs. So why did he transform back into Bouchard? The first time we see Ludwig, I think it's the real one. The second time, I'm not sure. I think it would make more sense if it was Karel. He was Ludwig's contact. And since Ludwig knew about the Cabal, Karel could have taken him to the Strauhof to finish him off. Later he gave Lara the codes he knew. To me, it doesn't make sense for Ludwig, who was so scared of the place, to enter alone and get caught. But it's still a possibility. Also, I think it's weird that the reporter would sell a gun to Lara. So when Ludwig says he saw Bouchard, he could actually be Karel, who had shapeshift into Ludwig. The detail about the footprints was only in one document, while the others never mentioned it, so maybe they decided to leave it out. Considering there wasn't much time for Karel to do that, he could have just knocked out Ludwig and put him in the back of the car to take him to the Strauhof later. Or maybe Ludwig was always just Ludwig, like Curtis, and he was stupid enough to enter the Strauhof. Maybe his curiosity won over his fear and then he got caught. Is it Karel killing Ludwig or Eckhart in this part? That's a very good question, and I can't find any good reasons to say if it's one or the other, because it's really hard without more information. And I think that's it for the part where it could be Karel. I also find it strange that Karel is not in the scene before the Boas fight, but I don't think he is any of the other characters in that scene. The first times that I've played, I thought that maybe Curtis was Karel in that part, but after reading the documents about the game and the next game, I realized it was Curtis, so it is. To conclude, we only know for sure that it was Karel in Vasley's place. There are some parts where it makes sense for it to be him, and in others, not really. I do believe he was never Curtis. Maybe they cut other parts of the story where it was going to be him posing as Curtis. Don't forget that Lara recognizes Karel at the end without ever seeing him in the game. This was because they were supposed to meet in a part of the story that was cut, so it's a possibility. What are your thoughts on this? Share them in the comments, and as always, don't forget to leave a like to help the video reach more people and subscribe for more videos. Until next time, bye bye!